Here is a rewrite of the text, structured into longer, more human-centric chapters with an engaging introduction as you requested. The Great Betrayal, when good exercise goes wrong. There is a silent misunderstanding unfolding in gyms, parks, and living rooms everywhere, especially for those of us who have lived past 60. It's a devastating irony that the very actions we take to preserve our strength and independence could be the very things that quietly weaken our most vital organ. As a heart doctor, I've had the privilege of seeing the incredible resilience of the human spirit, but I've also witnessed the tragic consequences of well-intentioned mistakes. I've sat with too many patients, vibrant and full of life, who felt perfectly fine until the day they weren't. When we dug into their stories, the culprit wasn't always a poor diet or a sedentary lifestyle. Often, it was the opposite. It was the wrong kind of movement. They were following popular advice, pushing themselves with exercises they believed were the gold standard for health, never realizing they were placing their aging hearts under a slow, relentless siege. This isn't about fear, it's about wisdom. It's about understanding that a heart that has beaten for over 2 billion times needs a different kind of respect, a different kind of care. Before you take another step or lift another weight, you need to know about the 5 hidden dangers that might be lurking in your fitness routine, because what you don't know could be costing you the very vitality you're trying so desperately to protect. The silent threat of pushing too hard. After 60, your heart is a masterpiece of endurance, but it is no longer the same resilient engine that powered you through your youth. It has become more sensitive, its arteries less flexible, and its rhythms more easily disturbed. This is why the modern fitness craze of high-intensity interval training, YIT, those explosive bursts of all-out effort followed by brief moments of rest, can be one of the most perilous choices for an older adult. I've watched with a heavy heart as seniors, inspired by a desire to stay young and fit, dive into these trendy workouts, believing that more sweat and a pounding chest are the signs of success. In reality, for a heart that may be silently managing hypertension, subtle arrhythmias, or hardened arteries, this approach is like flooring the accelerator on a vintage car. The sudden, immense pressure forces the heart to pump with a ferocity it can no longer safely sustain. This doesn't build strength, it builds risk. The damage is often insidious, happening quietly beneath the surface. Blood pressure spikes in ways you don't feel, electrical rhythms become unstable, and the heart muscle strains in protest. You might just feel a bit lightheaded or unusually tired afterward, dismissing it as a normal part of aging, but inside your heart is waving a red flag, a warning that too often goes unheeded until a moment of crisis. The gentler, more profound path to cardiac health lies in consistency, not intensity. A steady, brisk walk, the flowing grace of Tai Chi, or the buoyant support of light swimming are the true heroes of senior heart health. They nurture your body without shocking it, working with your heart, not against it. In this chapter of life, safety is strength, and sustainability is the ultimate success. When strength training turns against you. There is a powerful and valid belief that a strong body is our best defense against the frailties of age. Maintaining muscle is crucial for mobility, balance, and independence. But there is a dangerous subtlety in how we pursue that strength, a hidden risk that I've seen play out in my practice far too often. When an older adult engages in exercises like traditional abdominal crunches, sit-ups, or heavy weightlifting, they often unknowingly create a surge of internal pressure that can put their heart in immediate jeopardy. What most people don't realize is that when you strain to lift a heavy dumbbell or curl your torso into a crunch, you are dramatically increasing the pressure within your abdominal and chest cavities. This pressure doesn't just stay localized, it presses inward and upward, causing a sudden sharp spike in blood pressure that demands the heart to work overtime to compensate. For a heart already compromised by the natural stiffening of age or the silent buildup of plaque, this sudden demand can be a breaking point. I have treated patients who have fainted in the middle of a repetition, experienced alarming chest pain during a set, or developed a serious arrhythmia shortly after what they believed was a perfectly normal gym session. These individuals were not neglecting their health. They were actively trying to preserve it. But the circulatory system in our 60s, 70s, and beyond is simply less elastic and more vulnerable to these abrupt changes. The key is not to abandon strength training, but to reinvent it with wisdom. Embrace resistance bands, which provide smooth, consistent tension without the sudden load. Focus on controlled, graceful movements where your breath remains steady. Building strength should be a collaboration with your body, not a battle against it. Exercising in the wrong environment. We spend so much time focusing on what exercises to do that we often forget to consider where and when we do them. For seniors, the surrounding environment can be just as impactful on the heart as the activity itself. I have seen too many well-meaning individuals head out for a walk on a sweltering summer afternoon or a brisk winter morning, completely unaware that the weather itself has become a silent adversary to their cardiovascular system. As we age, our body's ability to regulate its internal temperature becomes less efficient. In the cold, your blood vessels constrict to conserve heat. This natural response causes your blood pressure to rise, putting a significant strain on a heart that may already be working hard to pump blood through less flexible arteries. In extreme heat, the opposite occurs. Your blood vessels dilate to cool you down, your heart rate accelerates to manage this process, and dehydration can set in with surprising speed. In both scenarios, the heart is forced into overdrive, not from the exertion of the exercise, but from the sheer effort of survival against the elements. A heart doesn't need to be running a marathon to experience stress. Sometimes, all it takes is being in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is why exercise for seniors must be an act of healing, not a hazard. Choose climate-controlled indoor environments when the weather is extreme. Hydrate diligently before, during, and after any activity. Listen to your body's whispers, a slight dizziness, a feeling of being too cold or too hot before they have a chance to become screams. The hidden chaos of rapid movement. There is an undeniable allure to fast-paced, energetic exercise. It feels youthful, powerful, and defiant. Movements like jumping jacks, quick stair sprints, or high-energy aerobics classes can seem like a fantastic way to turn back the clock. However, for a body over 60, these same movements can introduce a level of chaos that the system is no longer equipped to handle. I have listened to countless stories from proud, active seniors who tried to keep up in a fast-paced fitness class, only to find themselves in my clinic days later describing dizzy spells, a racing or fluttering heart, or unexplained falls. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a matter of biology. With age, our nervous system's reaction time slows, our sense of balance becomes more precarious, and our arteries lose their youthful elasticity. Sudden, jarring movements, jumping, twisting, or rapidly changing direction create a perfect storm of demands on the cardiovascular and nervous systems. Blood pressure can fluctuate wildly, the heart's rhythm can be thrown into disarray, and the delivery of oxygen can struggle to keep pace with the abrupt demands. What feels like a simple lunge to your mind is, to your aging body, a complex and stressful test of coordination, blood flow, and recovery. For anyone with even mild, undiagnosed cardiovascular issues, the risk of triggering an arrhythmia or a dangerous fall is frighteningly real. True strength in this season of life is found not in speed, but in control, not in how fast you can move, but in how gracefully you can protect what matters most. Slow, fluid disciplines like water aerobics, gentle stretching, and Tai Chi are profoundly more effective. They stabilize the body, soothe the heart, and build lasting longevity without the risk. When good intentions disrupt your deepest healing. On the surface, an evening workout seems like a perfect solution to a busy day. The world quiets down, and there's finally time to focus on your well-being. but what feels convenient can quietly sabotage one of the most critical healing processes your body possesses: restorative sleep. I've seen this pattern emerge time and again with my patients. They'll take a brisk walk after dinner or do a light cardio routine before bed, driven by discipline and good intentions. What they don't understand is that even moderate physical exertion too close to bedtime can act as a stimulant, elevating heart rate, raising core body temperature, and signaling to the nervous system to stay alert at the precise moment it should be winding down. As we get older, our sleep architecture becomes more fragile, and our internal clocks or circadian rhythms are more easily disrupted. When you sacrifice deep, uninterrupted sleep for a late-night workout, you are unknowingly robbing your heart of its primary time for repair and recovery. Chronic poor sleep is directly linked to higher blood pressure, increased systemic inflammation, and a greater risk of irregular heart rhythms. Your heart needs rest just as much as your muscles do, perhaps even more so. The solution is to align your movement with your body's natural cycles. Exercising in the morning or early afternoon not only energizes your day, but also supports a healthier, deeper sleep at night. Let your evenings be a time for gentle unwinding, not for revving up. Because the ultimate act of self-care is honoring your body's need for rest, allowing your heart the peace it requires to heal and prepare for a new day. A message from my heart to yours. If you have read this far, it tells me you are someone who deeply cares not just about living longer, but about living better. And so, I want to speak to you not just as a doctor, but as a fellow human who has seen too much preventable pain. For decades, I have stood in hospital rooms beside wise, strong, and spirited seniors whose lives were irrevocably changed by a single workout, a single habit, or a single moment of pushing too far. So many of them shared the same haunting regret. I didn't think it was a big deal. When you are over 60, the small things become the big things. Your heart, having beaten for you with unwavering loyalty for decades, is now asking for your attention, for your wisdom. You do not need to train like you're 30. You do not need to chase an idealized image of aging that demands you push your body beyond its natural limits. What you need is consistency, kindness, and a profound awareness of your own body's signals. There is no trophy for overexertion, only the quiet, immeasurable reward of waking up each morning with a steady heart and a peaceful mind. Let go of the myth that more is always better, and start embracing the philosophy that wiser is better. Move in harmony with your age, not in rebellion against it. That is where true strength, courage, and lasting health are found. Your heart has given you everything. It is now time to give it your wisdom in return.